Good evening, everybody. Hello from Ottawa, Ontario here, the night of 2022 CPL Awards. Hello to everybody in the building, players, coaches, fans. Really special to see some of the fans here. And hello to everybody watching at home, of course, on the OneSoccer YouTube channel. Where are we? We are at TD Place. Why are we here? Because of the 2022 Canadian Premier League Final. It's live on OneSoccer at 6 o'clock Eastern on Sunday evening. You can be here as well. Still tickets available. It is going to be a ruckus atmosphere. It's going to be a fantastic game as we crown a new Canadian Premier League champion, Atletico Ottawa, taking on Forge FC in the 2020 Canadian Premier League Final. You know, a lot of the time we're always thinking about the next game. I know that's in the mind of the players that are here tonight. We're always thinking about what's next. But just for the next hour or so, we're going to do a bit of reflecting. It's time to look back. Time to remember what's happened in a fantastic 2022 Premier League season, Canadian Premier League season. We've had 112 regular season games, averaging 2.5 goals per game. We've had two teams go toe-to-toe with some of the giants of CONCACAF. How can we not forget Forge going head-to-head in the CONCACAF Champions League against Cruz Azul, and of course, the team in Pacific going head-to-head with the Costa Rican giants, Herediano. Both those teams combined to be 196 years old. We're just still 4 years old here in the Canadian Premier League, and we're going to congratulate everybody as well tonight in what was a fantastic 2022 season. This is a special night. We're handing out individual awards. We're handing out a lot of special artwork as well. Goalkeeper of the Year, Under-21 Canadian Player of the Year, the Golden Boot winner will be celebrated. Defender of the Year, a new award this year, and quite rightly so. Player of the Year voted by the media. Coach of the Year voted by the coaches. And of course, Players Player of the Year voted by the players. We'll get to that later. As I said, these are uniquely special pieces of art to the Canadian Premier League awards that are given out tonight are carved from a unique piece of Inuit soapstone. Art by artists from Cape Dorset and Port Inlet in Nunavut. And tonight, these players get to pose with them and get their own replicas to go home with as well. Very special awards. And as I said, a way to celebrate the fantastic 2022 season that we've had. We start tonight with the Golden Glove, and that award goes to the best goalkeeper of the year. This is inspired by Himik, the dog that has been with the people of the Arctic for over 4,000 years. Why do they pick that? Well, the dog is a protector of the community, built strong, loyal, tough, brave, intelligent, all great traits of goalkeepers. So I think that's really fitting tonight as we look at the great goalkeepers in our year in this Canadian Premier League. Past winners of this award, 2019, Marco Carducci of Cavalry, 2020, Tristan Henry from Forge FC, and in 2021, Jonathan Sirois from Vala FC. Without further ado, let's take a look at the 2022 nominees. Three very, very worthy nominees, and we can only have one winner. So I have that winner in the envelope here. And the winner of the 2022 Golden Glove for the best goalkeeper in the Canadian Premier League goes to Marco Carducci of Cavalry FC. Congratulations, buddy. Marco had a fantastic year for Cavalry, led the league, tied the league with clean sheets. It's a pretty heavy award, as you can see. 10 clean sheets in 24 games. Marco, I'll just have you to stay on stage with me if you don't mind. There you go. You can take this, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations. How does it feel?
It feels great. I'm very honored to win this award among many fantastic goalkeepers in this league, and the two that were also nominated. Congratulations to them. But yeah, it's a fantastic award, something I couldn't do without the people around me, and I'm honored to be here.
I know you'd rather be here playing for a final, so we thank you for coming. Obviously, you're very close to winning that, getting beat by Forge on the weekend. What about your teammates? Obviously, this is a team award. We mentioned 10 clean sheets. You've played behind a fantastic team defense all season long. What was it like to play behind those guys?
It means everything. I mean, everyone would agree with this. I think the goalkeepers here would say the same thing. You're one player on a team of 11, and it doesn't happen without them. So winning this award, I'm greatly honored, but the first thank you goes out to those guys in front of me for helping all season long.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention your remarkable story. We talked at the start of the season where you weren't able to play in the first 3 games of the season, recovering from testicular cancer, and we'll give a round of applause for the recovery that Marco had for that. First of all, it doesn't, Marco has been an unbelievable advocate for this as well. So the moment we did that first interview coming out of it, you said, I'm not shying away from this. I want to talk about it. So congratulations, buddy, for continuing with that. And obviously just speak to that and the ability to get more awareness out there, please.
It's important. I think I've said it a million times and I'll continue to do it. Men's health, it's not something we speak about. Again, I look at a lot of my colleagues in the room here. Any sign of vulnerability, any sign of weakness is a threat, and it's hard to open up like that in this type of environment. So for me, it's simple to be able to continue to share the awareness and to be open about it and have those conversations. If it helps just one other person, do the right things to take care of your mental and physical well-being, then it's worth it. So I'll continue to share that story. And the one thing I would add there again is I didn't do it alone either. From the medical staff, my teammates, my family, my partner who's here with me today. It was a tough bit of news to receive, and the amount of support I had around the people that I had around me was everything, and I just want to continue to share that message.
Well, you've been very brave, man, and we can't thank you enough for articulating that fantastic message. You're a magnificent goalkeeper for Cavalry. Even more importantly, you're a great proponent for our league as well. We can thank you very much for this. Congratulations on the award. Marco Carducci, everybody. There you go, mate. You can just take that off to the side. Thank you. Congratulations again to Marco, the 2022 Goalkeeper of the Year. We move now to our next award, which honors the best under-21 Canadian player. This is given to a player that basically is the polar bear award, where they're playful, adored by all, impressionable, but with the freedom to become more respected and formidable as they grow older. And I think that's very well said in terms of when you're looking at the young Canadian under-21 players that have certainly won this award in the past and are nominated, of course, for tonight. Past winners include Tristan Borges in 2019, Mohamed Farzi in 2020, and 2021, Alessandro Jabrapor. Here are the nominees for the 2022 award. Three fantastic nominees for the Under-21 Canadian Premier League Player of the Year. Delighted now to be joined on stage by the 2021 winner, Alessandro Jabrapor, who's going to allow me to come up and just announce the winner. Ali, come on up. I know you're here for a final to play on the weekend as well. Just step over here for me if you don't mind. Before you announce it, let's just get a couple of words. How special was it for you to win this award last year?
Very special. I think it just shows personally your growth and that you're doing the right things. I think that's the simple truth.
Yeah, and obviously when you look at this game this weekend is a big one for you, but the fact that young players are still making a difference in this league, the opportunity to play under 21 players with those minutes, how important is it for young Canadians in this league to get this opportunity?
I think it's the most important part of the league. I think it's why the league was kind of made for Canadians, and the young players that get to step into these teams and learn and grow in the game, it's very important for them.
I'll do a little switcheroo if you don't mind then. I'll take that from you, and then I'll let you, I'll hold the mic over and we'll let you announce the winner, please.
So the winner of the Best Canadian U21 Player of the Year is Sean Rea.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, you could take those. Just take that down there and hand it off. Thank you. Sean Rea of Valor FC, Best Canadian Under-21 Player. Sean, unfortunately, cannot be with us tonight. He was supposed to be here. He is home and he is unwell. However, I was able to speak to Sean earlier, and we congratulate Sean Rea of Valor FC being the Under-21 Canadian Player of the Year. Delighted now to be joined by playmaker Sean Rea from Valor FC. Sean, I'm also thrilled to tell you that you've been named the Under-21 Canadian Player of the Year. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
How does it feel, and who are the people you think about when you get named an award like that?
Well, first of all, it feels amazing. After a great season, I would say. It was full of ups and downs. Unfortunately, we came so close, but weren't able to clinch that position. But it's a nice way to close off the season. I'd say I'd like to thank my family, friends, girlfriend, teammates, everybody who's been with me a part of the journey. And yeah, it feels great.
That's great. Obviously, Alessandro Hajabrapor won it last year, and then obviously we move on to Sean Rea this year, which is a terrific winner. How do you look back at your time with Valor? What are the high moments that you will look back on?
Honestly, I'd say it was a great 2 years. I take even last year as a learning curve, adapting, getting to know the team, getting to know Phil DeSantos as a great manager. I had a blast with the guys. We had a great 2 years, and it feels amazing to end off these 2 seasons with an award like that.
And again, we a brilliant season, led the league in chances created, assists as well. 2 monumental top 10 goals, one against York United and one obviously against Pacific as well. So full of highlights as well. So we'll pass over the final word to you.
I want to thank everybody, my teammates, my coach, the CPL, my friends and family. It was a lot of sacrifices, and I'm just really glad to have won this award. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Sean. Just a little story before we go to break. I tried to get Sean here this week, and it was not a problem. He was delighted to come. He was only in Montreal, and then a couple of days ago, he was like, "Yeah, I got the COVID a little bit," so he wasn't feeling well, so we precautionally left him back. But just a great season that he's had, and he said, he gave me all the freedom of the world to explain why he couldn't be here today, and he was sorry he couldn't be here, so we'll have Sean back here and obviously collect his award when he was there. But a fabulous playmaker, as I said, led the league in chances created, and Phil DeSantos also wanted to send a message to say how thrilled he was to coach a player like that as well. So congratulations to Sean on winning Under-21 Player of the Year here in the Canadian Premier League. All right, coming up next, we give out some more awards. We're only 2 down, 5 more to go. As we look at some of the other awards, we're going to give out the Defender of the Year. We're going to honor the Golden Boot winner. And of course, later in the show, still the Player of the Year, Players Player of the Year, and the Coach of the Year as well. Live from TD Place here in Ottawa, Ontario. We'll continue after the break here at the 2022 CPL Awards.
Who's this game for? For those just making their start? Or those with a whole city on their back? For those who are always game? Or those who are pioneers? For those who are chasing glory? Or is it for all of us? Volkswagen.
Cross, hit it on, good save. Margot stopped by Pauli, rebound, stopped again. A new era for Canadian soccer begins today. Experience the emotion of every match. Watch all the highlights, the breaking news, the best debates, and analysis, and all the information about the Canadian stars playing abroad. Get access to the best of Canadian soccer from any device. Join the new dawn of an unstoppable game. CB Rise on OneSoccer.ca.
Welcome back to the 2022 Canadian Premier League Awards. If you've missed it so far, we've honoured Marco Carducci as our Golden Glove winner and Sean Rea as our Best Under-21 Canadian Player of the Year. We're going to get to two more awards in this segment, and we're going to start with honouring the Best Goal Scorer of the Year. And this, the Golden Boot winner, is given to the player who scored obviously the most goals during the regular season of the Canadian Premier League. And to this goes the hunter. Courageous in the hunt, patient, who adapts quickly to their environment and finds a way for their family. Past winners of this award, 2019, Tristan Borges, 2020, Akeem Garcia, who we wish all the best in his next adventure, and in 2021, João Morelli. In 2022, the winner of this award is, of course, Alejandro Diaz of Pacific FC, who gets 13 goals in 18 games at Pacific before moving on to play in Norway. Diaz had a fantastic year, as I said, 13 goals in 18 games, and also, of course, how can we forget the hat-trick in CONCACAF play as well. So let's celebrate Alejandro Diaz, who joined me earlier this week as well from Norway, as we look back at a fantastic season.
Hello everyone in Canada, Alejandro Diaz here in Norway. I just want to say thank you to the Canadian Premier League for recognizing my goals and awarding me with the Golden Boot for the 2022 season. A very special award for me. I want to say thank you to my wife and my family and my Pacific FC family, which of course includes my forever teammates who will always be champions. Congratulations to Atletico Ottawa and Forge on making the 2022 final. I am looking forward to watching the game.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. Alejandro currently in his bed in Norway, getting ready to play his final game of the regular season tomorrow, and then is jetting back, of course, to the West Coast to meet his lovely wife as they get ready for the birth of their child in a couple of weeks as well. So Canada, not only just in his heart, but also a big part of Alejandro Diaz's life as well, still, as he comes back from Norway. So we wish him best there. By the way, 5 goals in 10 games so far on the edge of Norway's playoffs as well. So he's not only scoring goals in Canada, he's also scoring goals in Norway as well. So congratulations to him. We move next to the Defender of the Year, basically players who are tasked to stop players like Alejandro Diaz scoring goals. This award is the Walrus, chosen because it's the strongest mammal in the north, a force to be reckoned with, a protector of all. A brand new award this year, and I think it's really special that in the Canadian Premier League we're honoring this player. These defenders don't always get the love. And I'd like to wish a special guest up to the stage, if you don't mind. Let's join me on the stage, David Edgar, of course. David, of course, two-time champion in the Canadian Premier League, 42 caps for Canada, played in the English Premier League as well. When you first heard, Eddie, that the Canadian Premier League was recognizing the Defender of the Year, what did you think?
I thought it was going to be named after me.
No. We can work on that, maybe. We can work on that. Yeah. So not the Walrus, but the David Edgar Award, basically.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I think it's about right.
Yeah, it's right? When you think about how this Canadian Premier League is continuing to evolve, I think you're one of the best guys to ask. You've been playing since the beginning. Now you're coaching. You're going to be on the sidelines for a final. What are your thoughts on the league?
No, I think Ali touched on it before. It's for that younger age group and players who have come back and want to do something in the game in Canada and help promote it, as I did myself, and obviously continue to play the game that we love in the country that we love.
You didn't have this option, Eddie, when you were younger. You went to England really early, magnificent career playing in one of the biggest clubs, Newcastle United. But what would it have been like for you and some of your players that you knew when you played as a kid that didn't get this opportunity to have a CPL back then?
Well, I was saying before, I would have been one of these players, these young kids in the stands every week, watching these guys with a Baloo Tabla jersey on, things like that, right? I would have been a fan, and I would have aspired to come and play for these teams. If we could have played here in our home country, it would have been fantastic. Obviously, some of us had to go abroad to play and cut our teeth playing the game, but to come back home and come full circle is fantastic.
A couple more with you, Eddie. What about the the defensive play of some of these teams this year. I feel like that. I mean, we've had a lot of goals, but it looks like, I mean, you're part of this, but some of these teams are getting harder and harder to break down, and the defenders are starting to really excel.
Yeah, no, and again, that's fantastic that defenders are getting recognized now. It's not something you get your name in the paper for defending, but it's a critical job that needs to be done in order to attack. So, no, it's fantastic.
Last one for you, Sunday. How much are you looking forward to being on the sidelines for another final? The fourth final, by the way, for your club, Forge, in 4 years in the CPL.
Yeah, it's exciting. It hasn't lost its appeal on us, and we're looking forward to it. And myself, I'm very excited to be on the sidelines.
Well, we're excited to have you here. Before you announce the winner, here are the nominees for the 2022 Defender of the Year. Three fantastic nominees, three great centre-backs like the man here himself. Over to you to announce the winner, please, David.
The winner Defender of the Year is Alexander Achinoti Jonsson.
And take that from there. Alex Achinoti Jonsson, who had a fantastic season. Sometimes I talk to this man and he's still adamant that he's an absolute midfielder. But you do win the Defender of the Year. Congratulations, my friend. How does it feel?
Thank you very much. It feels good. Not too bad for a midfielder, right?
Not too bad for a central midfielder. Those who don't know, you obviously played a lot of your football career playing in that number 6 role, but you were asked to fill in a role early this season that ended up being a lot longer. How much do you really love playing centre back?
Oh, I do. It's enjoyable in a different way than midfield. It obviously took some adjusting to, but I had great help in the club as well, so made the transition easier.
Make the transition easier. I was speaking to your dad a couple of games ago when he was back for a Forge game, and he was wondering about how you were going to get on it this year. And I said, oh, he's a nominee coming up for it. So who would you like to thank? Who do you think about back in Sweden and your football journey to get to this moment?
It's obviously my family. They've supported me. Making the decision to come over to Canada, I wouldn't have made it without them, right? It's important having that support from home. Even here in Canada, my girlfriend has support, because there are days very grumpy and maybe not the easiest to deal with, right? We all have our ups and downs, so obviously those people. And then in the club, Eddie has helped me a lot this year. Obviously his experience has been invaluable to me. I've had G in goal, who's been amazing this year as well and helped me a lot. And then the best defender in the league, in my opinion, Daniel as well, that's been on the sideline, has also helped me a lot. So I've had great support off and on the field. So it's been they've been making me look better than what I really am.
Very well said. G, of course, being Tristan Henry, Daniel being Daniel Crutzen, who only had played 3 games this year coming back from injury, but thankfully he's back, and he certainly was played in the semi-final. Alex, when you look back at the season that's gone on and you've culminated now in a final, how excited are you for Sunday?
Oh, very excited. So like I said, it's been a long season from when we started playing Cruz Azul in February, where we put out a great performance, and then carrying into the CPL season, we've been going up and down. So yeah, this has always been our goal at the beginning of the season, right? It's what we've managed to do now 4 years in a row, so it's very exciting.
Those of you who may have seen it, we did a video together this year with the league with Alex. He became one of our CPL Centurions as well, which is a fantastic achievement. 100 games played in the Canadian Premier League, and you've almost become a Canadian, no? An adopted Canadian at this point. You love this country, no?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like a second home now.
Yeah, well, second home. We can't thank you enough for being here. Alexander Achinoti Jonsson, the 2022 Defender of the Year in the Canadian Premier League. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much, Alexander. That's 4 awards down. We've still got much more hardware to hand out. Coming up after the break, we'll, of course, get into the Player of the Year, the Coach of the Year, the Players' Player of the Year, and, of course, continue to preview the game that will be happening right behind me here at TD Place. That's right. Atletico Ottawa taking on Forge FC, 6 o'clock Eastern, live on OneSoccer. And, of course, you can buy your tickets still to come here in Ottawa and watch this fantastic final. Coming up after the break, we'll continue to honor these awards here at the 2022 CPL Award Show in Ottawa.
When inspiration strikes, go after it. In the German-engineered, redesigned 2022 Tiguan, with standard 4Motion all-wheel drive and the available CarNet app that connects to your vehicle in over 20 ways. With the kick of a foot, Tiguan can keep up with family life, which comes in handy because kids change their minds a lot. When family happens fast, you'll be ready. That's how to Tiguan. Volkswagen.
Lovely ball, Ollie Bassett from in close! What a shot from Bassett! A Bassett bomb! Right foot finds Noah Jensen, another one. Long range effort! Jensen's done it! It will be Atletico Ottawa hosting Forge for the North Star Shield.
We created Carlsberg 0-0 because even the best things can be better with alcohol-free beer. Clean one-handed backhand is better. Balancing stuff is better. Whatever this is better. We created Carlsberg. Skipping your own ad is better. Parking in space, better. So, can the best alcohol-free beer make good things better? Probably.
A new era for Canadian soccer begins today. Experience the emotion of every match. Watch all the highlights, the breaking news, the best debates, and analysis. And all the information about the Canadian stars playing abroad. Get access to the best of Canadian soccer from any device. Join the new dawn of an unstoppable game. See the rise on OneSoccer.ca.
Welcome back to the show, the 2020 Canadian Premier League Awards. I'm Christian Jack here in Ottawa, Ontario, as we continue to honour the individual moments of brilliance for these players here in the 2022 season. Of course, ahead of Sunday's final here in Ottawa, 6 o'clock Eastern between Atletico Ottawa and Forge. Our next award goes to the Player of the Year, nominated and voted by 30 members of the media. The Canadian Premier League Player of the Year is given the North Star. This once points to the sky, to the North Star, as an important landmark that is often carved out by the Inuit carvers in the dark, often saying that the North Star is the one that gives them the light to allow them to work. The star that really is the one above everybody else can guide them in the way. Hence the reason why it goes to the Canadian Premier League Player of the Year, voted by the media. Past winners are 2019, Tristan Borges, 2020, Kyle Becker, and in 2021, the double winner himself, João Morelli. We wish him all the best as he continues to recover from ACL surgery in Brazil. For the 2022 Canadian Premier League Player of the Year, here are our 5 nominees. 5 fantastic players. Lots of love in the crowd for the 2 Ottawa nominees, right? From the back, from the crowd. There you go. Thank you guys for coming. It's great to see the energy. And of course, this is a festival as we get ready for Sunday's major final. I'd like to welcome up on stage now the Commissioner of the Canadian Premier League, Mr. Mark Noonan, who would announce the winner of the award, please. Actually, I'm going to hold this. Yeah.
225 players suited up in our league this year, but only one can win Player of the Year. Think about that. And that gentleman is one of 5 incredible nominees tonight. The winner of the 2022 CPL Player of the Year is, let's hear it, Ottawa, Ollie Bassett.
Big night for you. Big night for Hollywood right here in Ottawa as well. How does this feel, mate?
Yeah, I think it feels amazing. I think, to win an individual award kind of caps off a kind of memorable collective season. So, yeah, it feels really good.
If you don't mind, I'm going to talk a little bit about your journey. So you played at Pacific last year. I saw you smiling a little bit when Diaz gave you a little bit of a message and he called you a forever teammate, right? But last year you didn't make it onto the pitch. You played forward in the final, and obviously, if you don't mind, I'll share this story. I just remember you running around on the field with a massive coat on because it was freezing. There was a hood over your head. I could barely see you. And I'm like, is he ever going to get on the pitch? In the end, you didn't get there, but you were a champion. And then obviously you come to Ottawa. What's that journey been like? And I would imagine it'd be a pretty special move to come to the city for you.
Yeah, I think obviously I came here to try and play more regular games. I didn't really get as much game time as I would have liked last season. So I think the goal for me was to come and try and play more minutes. I think to win a championship at any club and be involved at any level is a special feeling. But I think to kind of play more regularly and feel like you're more part of a team is something that I was seeking for off the back of last season.
You're in the final, so we know on the field it's going well. But what's it like off the pitch working with these players and these coaches?
Yeah, I think it's excellent. We have a fantastic group of players and a whole new coaching staff. So I think kind of the work we've done, all the way back to Madrid 7-8 months ago, is kind of all led up to this moment, to where we are today. So yeah, I think everyone has played their part, and I think the fans too, with creating the culture here in Ottawa, is something they can be proud of as well.
A couple more with you, Ollie, if you don't mind. I'd like to get into the mind of an athlete. So when you're not playing as often last year, I'm sure your confidence is a little bit affected. I remember you scoring that brilliant goal in the bubble, one of your first games for Pacific, so you were making a difference. But what's it like when you start to get some people who are believing in you? What's that like as a professional player?
Yeah, I think it obviously helps significantly. I think when you have a good support group around you, family, friends, my girlfriend and her family too. So I think, everyone involved with the club, behind the scenes as well. I think when you have people that are there and supporting you, I think, make sure they, training and playing, that a little bit easier. So yeah, I can't thank everyone enough, and, they've been amazing with me this season.
I ask because I wouldn't know myself, but one thing that we do have common is our love for Aston Villa. We'll get that out there right now. But I say that because obviously, you've come to Canada to continue your professional career, but who do you think about in these moments? And I know that you've got family all around the world, so who do you think about in this moment? Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, obviously I want to thank my parents back home in the UK. They stay up late nights, watching all of the games. So yeah, I want to thank them and, my girlfriend and their family. They've always been there for me kind of off the pitch. And then obviously my teammates and the coaching staff and all the fans. I think they've been super supportive of me all season, and they've kind of gave me the platform to, express myself. So I can't be more, grateful for them types of people.
To remind you, this was 30 members of the media, and they decided together to vote you as the 2022 Canadian Premier League Player of the Year. One more time, everybody, Ollie Bassett. Thank you. Fantastic achievement by Ollie Bassett. You can see it certainly went down well here in the room as well. We move now to the best coach of 2022, an award voted on by their fellow coaches this year. Now, what happened here was we touched base with all the coaches. Every head coach got a vote, and every assistant, one of the assistants, got a vote as well. So, I mean, I'm not great at math, but that's 16, 8 plus 8. 16 people got a vote on the ballot. They put their 1, 2, 3 together as well, and then they came up with the best coaches of 2022 and the nominees. The winner of this award, of course, will win the owl, a symbol of wisdom and knowledge. Someone who has strong vision that can see things that others can't, which I think is pretty fitting, certainly for a coach. The past winners of this award in 2019 from Cavalry FC, Tommy Wilden Jr. In 2020, Stephen Hart of Halifax Wanderers, and last year, Parma Carr of Pacific FC. For this year, the 2022 nominees of the best coach. Three fantastic nominees, and by the way, there's so many other ones who got great votes as well. So it's been a great year for coaches in the Canadian Premier League, no doubt about it. To announce the winner of these nominees, excuse me, I'd like to bring up Fernando Lopez, the CEO of Atletico Ottawa. Ottawa has already been a gracious host for us, and we're only just getting here, so we can't wait for the next couple of days. Fernando, here is the envelope, and I'll let you do the honors, please.
Thanks, Christian. So the winner of the Coach of the Year is Carlos Gonzalez.
Congratulations, Carlos. How does it feel?
Well, impressive, you know. I feel really thankful, honored, and I'm proud, of course.
You should be proud. I don't think it's not even 9 months yet since we found out from Fernando and other people here in Ottawa that we're going to announce Carlos Gonzalez, our head coach. We all start to look up the background and think about what we're going to have coming here. And here we are, less than 9 months later, honoring you as Coach of the Year. How has this journey been for you since you arrived in Canada and now finding yourself here hosting a final?
Well, the journey has been exciting since the beginning. 8 months, it feels like it has been like 2 years now. Very intense months. And you know, I think that this award is very valuable because there are great coaches in this league, and having the recognition of this work, the work that we've done in only 8 months, I think that it's very valuable, and I thank them, of course. And what I try to say that I feel that this is a team award, not an individual award, and of course the real responsible of this are those guys that are sitting over there, and of course the staff that is over there.
Yeah, very well said indeed, a team award. What has it been like coming to Canada? I know it's starting to get a little bit colder here, but I think we've had a beautiful summer for you, so much. How's it been here for you?
Well, it has been great, you know, great. We've enjoyed the journey every single day here in the city, marvelous country, big trips, yeah. But, you know, it has been great since the beginning. I think that it's a great country. The soccer community is growing so much. We feel that since the beginning. So I'm great here in Ottawa.
Great to hear. You mentioned your players who you wanted to thank. Great managers will always say great players test them to make them better. What have they done for you this year to ensure that you're a better coach?
Yeah, I think that word is the right one, test, since the beginning. I see some faces here that I knew that in the preseason they were testing a little bit, and this was
no names or
nah. This is a normal situation in every single team. You know, you have to win the respect of players if you haven't been an ex-professional player, so you have to win it with work and with the day by day. So, you know, I feel proud of that we've built that bond between players, staff, and the whole city. So very happy about it.
A couple more with you, Carlos. What's it like being part of the Atletico family? I obviously do this for a living, so I know some of the stats and what we're doing. I think 23, and Nate Ingram's over there, so congratulations to him on this next stat as well. I think 23 of 28 games this year, you conceded 1 goal or less. When you talk about that, that's like an Atletico Madrid stat as well as an Atletico Ottawa stat. They're certainly used to that. But what's it like being part of the Athletic family, and how proud are you of your defensive work rate as well in terms of stopping the goals going in?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great. As you know, I worked before 5 years in Atletico Madrid, so being in the family again is so good for me and for my family also. And of course, what you say, I think that the basics of the team is the solidness. I think it was very important analyzing in detail what happened last season to get into the, or to try to stop what was happening wrong. And I think that we've done it in the correct way, and let's see if we can keep it up and we can evolve the game of the team.
Well, before this year, Atletico Ottawa had never, ever won back-to-back games. You did it 6 times this year, and you ended the season with a 9-game unbeaten run heading into the playoffs, and now you get to host the final. So, final word about how excited you are for Sunday?
Well, very excited. You know, we've been playing this type of game since the beginning. Okay, we've been preparing the team for finals since day one. So it's normal and it's true that we are going to play a very important game. The surroundings of the games are special. We play at home. We play against a great team. So I think it's going to be a great party of soccer.
It should be fun. We're certainly looking forward to it. Congratulations once again to the 2022 Coach of the Year, Mr. Carlos Gonzalez. Thank you. Thank you very much. Carlos Gonzalez wins the 2022 Coach of the Year. Certainly goes down well here in Ottawa. We've got one more award to give out, and we've still got a final to preview as well. So coming up after the break, we'll look into that with a couple of players who will be on the pitch on Sunday. And then finally, we'll look at the Players' Player of the Year, a new award this year, honored by their peers. And we'll get into the winner of that coming up. You're watching the 2022 CPL Awards live from Ottawa.
We created Carlsberg 0-0 because even the best things can be better. Where I go free beer. Clean one-handed backhand is better. Balancing stuff is better. Whatever this is better. We created Carlsberg. Skipping your own ad is better. Parking in space, better. So, can the best alcohol-free beer make good things better? Probably.
Hopefully we can add a friend to those other trophies that are sitting inside there.
Go, go, go! Not gonna make it.
We timed this out, remember?
Passports. Is that money? Dad! Have you forgotten how to pack for a vacation?
We're gonna miss our flight to Cancun.
Cancun? I'll make sure you make your flight.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Whole crew rolling with me. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Canada's soccer heartbeat is growing faster as FIFA World Cup Qatar rapidly approaches.
Are you kidding me?
Hope for Canada's men's national team has captured our imagination. And the conversation is turning to the biggest stage. Momentum for the world's most prestigious tournament is crucial, and Canada has one more friendly to prepare. One final test. It's Canada versus Japan, November 17th. OneSoccer.
Welcome back to the show here in Ottawa. Joined on stage now, of course, by Laura Armstrong, Drew Becky, and Alejandro Hajabrapor ahead of the 2022 CPL final. It's quite loud in here. Obviously, people are excited. Of course, there's a final coming up, right, Laura? It doesn't get much better than this.
It doesn't get much better than this,
Yes,
does it?
does not. So Drew and Ali are here with Laura to preview the final, and we're going to have a bit of a chat about that before we get to the final award. So over to you, Laura.
How's everybody doing tonight? It's great to see so many lovely faces, so many familiar faces here tonight. It's great to be back on OneSoccer, and it's great to be up here with you two on stage. I'm going to start with you, Ali. You've been in a final before. This is your second in as many years. How does it feel to be back?
You always want to play in as many finals as you can as a player. I think the most exciting games is what you play the whole season for. But yeah, second final, so I can kind of rely on some experience from last year. Yeah, we're just going into the game just as if it's any other game, preparing the same way.
Does it feel different the second time around?
Maybe a little. I think we're still playing away from home as I did last year. The crowd is going to be there. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Yeah, we're just ready. It doesn't feel too different for me.
Drew, you've seen different iterations of soccer in this city. This is my hometown. I don't know that I've ever seen soccer blow up in this city like it has in the last couple of months. How has it been to experience that for you?
Well, it's special. You know, I had the experience of having a final in Ottawa, you know, in 2015. We were in New York, but with a special team, with the Fury in those days. And it's eerily similar now here in 2022. Having Carl here is a special thing, and to play in another final is it's special not only for us, but for the city.
And we should probably point out that you're not the only Becky playing in a final right now, are you?
No, yeah, Janine has done well as well, and she'll play tomorrow night in the NWSL final.
So I guess we know what Drew is doing tomorrow night, and I think he probably encourages you all to do the same. You've got a very tough opponent here in Forge FC. We all know their resume. Give me a scouting report as far as you feel comfortable.
Well, I got Coach sitting right here, so I can't give you too much, but you know, I'll be chasing this guy around the field. That won't be nice. You know, he's a lot younger than me, so I got to keep up. But Forge, we have a lot of respect for. They've done it 4 years in a row. Very well coached. You know, David was somebody that I watched growing up that I wanted to be just like, and it's an honor to play against them. But we're going to do our best to spoil their party and win the game.
Ali, you're coming into some pretty tough territory here. Ottawa has really shown up this season, not only on the field, but those fans in the stands. What is it like to play in sort of an enemy territory? Does it make the game better? Does it make the game more stressful? How do you approach it?
I think you wouldn't want it any other way. I think it grows the game in the city, in the country. As he said, for us, we respect them a lot. They maybe play a different style than we do, but it gets wins, and winning is what is the most important job. Yeah, it's good.
It wasn't so long ago that you guys were here last. What do you remember from that game? Is there anything from that game that you're going to take going into this one?
Last game was 0-0 here. Should have maybe been 1-0. No, we're just going to look back at those games, prepare the same way as we do for every other game. Yeah, there's not much too different. As they do, they prepare every game as if it's a final, and we do the same thing.
Drew, one last one for you. We're here, the CPL is through its 4th season now, and the league is growing. We're seeing more and more teams catch on. We're seeing more and more teams compete for championships, whether it be the new regular season championship title that was announced this season or this postseason title. What do you think that says about where this league is right now and where it's going to go?
Well, it's important that there's parity in the league, of course. Obviously, Forge has shown that they've been the best over the last 4 years, but if you're looking at a comparison between maybe the second division in the U.S. and Canada, you're seeing more players being bought from the Canadian Premier League than in the USL Championship, which could be a comparable level. And having experience in the States and back in Canada, it's really special to see how far we've come. And for players like Ali here, to have an opportunity to get 50, 60 games by the time they're 22, 23 years old. That never existed before for myself, Carl, a lot of these older guys in the league. We had to go to the States, we had to go to Europe or whatever it may be to get games. So to see, I'm excited to see in 5 to 10 years where we'll be at, and the investment that we've made in this league is very special, and it'll just pay dividends in the next 5, 10 years.
Well, I think we're all excited to see what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years, but I think we're probably all more excited to see what's going to happen on Sunday. Thank you guys both for being with us, and good luck.
Thank you.
In the next week.
Thanks, Kate. Thank you very much, Laura. By the way, what a star Laura is. She's and everything around this place. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate you. And thanks to Drew Becky and, of course, to Alessandro Ojabapor, who will be going at it on Sunday. We have one more award, and this is a really special award. This is the debut award of the Canadian Premier League Players Player of the Year Award. You may have seen some of these kind of awards around the world. This is where the peers vote for the best player. I was speaking to a lot of players this season about this award, and I know that they all came back with extreme positive feedback about this. How this process happened was members of the Canadian Premier League head office, including myself, met with every individual player, 180 players who ended the season with their Canadian Premier League clubs, and they could vote in a ballot of first, second, and third. Point system went through. Any player that played in the Canadian Premier League this year was eligible to be playing, and anybody who played in the Canadian Premier League was also eligible to vote. In the end, 180 players voted, and 45 players, round of applause, by the way, 45 players were nominated. When you think about that number, that is a remarkably high percentage when you think about just asking for the top 3 players, and 45 players got votes, many of them multiple. On CanPL.ca, the moment this award ceremony is finished, you can go on there and read the results of who got what and the winners as well. The top 10 players were announced recently as a finalist. Before we show you them, we should announce that the winner of this award will receive the muskox, who earns the respect of his herd through leadership, organization, and defense of his members, and in particular, respect in the community in the presence of the heat of the battle. Again, a very fitting award. So after we all brought all the points in and everybody got nominated and everybody was nominated, the players you're going to see next were the top 10 finalists. Ten brilliant players, 10 difference makers. There can be only one winner. I'd like to welcome on stage Drew Becky, who can help me honor this next winner. Drew, great to see you. Thanks again for coming back. It's fitting that we have a player announce this, but before we get into it, if you don't mind, maybe you can just speak from the player's point of view, just how important an award like this is.
As you said, it's very important. It's by your peers. We're the ones on the field competing. We're the ones that are understanding who is doing what well. And it's a very special award to have, and I think a necessary award, and it's a great one to have.
Yeah, I know a lot of you guys. What I loved about this, quite honestly, was that everybody that I had the pleasure of speaking to took it really seriously. We gave you guys a little bit of heads up. I know there's a little bit of banter in the locker room. We should also mention that you couldn't vote for your own teammates. So that's very important to mention as well. So you had to look elsewhere. And I think a lot of the times what I loved about it, talking to the players, Drew, was that it was often the individual battle. So a defender would be thinking about a striker, or a midfielder would be thinking about me, because that's ultimately the reference points that are left on the pitch as you go into battle with these players.
Of course. Those who you're going against week in and week out, it's who you see the most, and the person you have the most respect for, right? So whether it's a defender, an attacker, a midfielder, all play their role within a team, and to be honored by your fellow peers will be a very special thing.
Okay, well, let's get to it. Here we go. We'll switch you over, and we'll get Drew Becky to announce the winner of the Players Player of the Year for the 2022 season.
For the 2022 Players Player of the Year, the winner is Ollie Bassett.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Ollie. We meet again. Congratulations. I know the other one was very special for you as well. You were involved in this voting process as everybody else. What's it like to be honored by your peers and win this award?
Yeah, I think it means a lot to be voted by, players that you play against, week in, week out. And for them to kind of recognize your, individual success, I guess. Yeah, it means a lot.
What was it like when we came to do your team in the locker room and coming together to put this voting together? What was the buzz?
Yeah, I think, everyone was kind of, discussing, between themselves who they were going to vote for. And I think, like Drew said, you can maybe vote for players that you struggle to play against in a similar position, or just players that you kind of admired throughout the season that, have done well for their respective teams. So, yeah, it was a good award, and yeah, we took it very seriously.
I will announce, and you can look at all the winners now on campr.ca. The man who finished second is also here tonight, and that was Balou Tabla, your teammate. So congratulations. Congratulations to Balou. 1-2 for Atletico Ottawa. What is it like to play with him?
Yeah, we have. I think we have a pretty good connection, on the pitch. We've tried to kind of build that over the course of the season. And I think that some of the goals he scored this season have been, unbelievable. So, yeah, he's a top player, and he's certainly, helped our team massively.
But when you get nominations for potential Puskas Awards for FIFA, then I think you're pretty special. Balou, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on getting second place in this award. A really special honor. Alejandro Diaz, by the way, was third in this award. Do you want to share with us who you voted for? Do you remember who you voted for?
Yeah, I actually voted for Alex first, and then I think I went for Sean second, and then I actually went for Mo Babuli for York, for the impact he had towards the end of the season. I know he only played a limited amount of games, but I think since he came into the league, he was probably one of the best players. So, yeah, he was my third choice.
All right, well, fantastic. Congratulations again to all the winners. But double winner tonight, Ollie Bassett of Atletico Ottawa. Congratulations. That wraps up our night here at the Canadian Premier League 2022 award show here in Ottawa. Can't thank everybody enough for being here. A massive attendance here inside here. Yes, I use that word on purpose. And it's going to be a massive game on Sunday, no doubt about it. It's great. It is great to have so many media members here, fans, players, representatives of the clubs as well. It's going to be a really special day. There's no doubt about it. Ultimately, I've had the pleasure of interviewing footballers for close to 20 to 25 years now. And they're all very different. But the one thing that really gets them to talk, and the one thing that just gets that spark in their eye, is when they talk about winning finals. And that's ultimately going to be really special for one group of team on Sunday. One of this group is going to win another final on Sunday. And as I said in one of my recent social media posts, the pleasure is always mine to interview players on the pitch when they're celebrating. The culmination of coming together for months together on the pitch, battles, tactics, many early morning training sessions, long flights, lots of different things across this great country. One of these teams will be specially awarded with that trophy on Sunday. And we can't thank you both, Atletico Ottawa and, of course, Forge, for being here tonight to represent yourselves as well. Congratulations again to Marco Carducci for Golden Glove Award winner. Congratulations to Sean Rea, who's at home, and I know he's watching, as the Under-21 Player of the Year. That is a fantastic award. To Alejandro Diaz, who wins the Golden Boot Award. That is a special year as well for Alejandro, so we can't thank him enough. Congratulations to Alex Ashinori-Janssen for the First Defender of the Year award as well. Very special as well. And to Carlos Gonzalez on Coach of the Year in 2022. But we end by thanking the man who got a double today, and we'll be hoping to get a double on Sunday. Crowned regular season champion, he'd be hoping to get a double by lifting the trophy again on Sunday, but he got a double here tonight. Congratulations to Ollie Bassett, the 2022 Player of the Year and Players Player of the Year. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you all on Sunday. A reminder, you can still get your tickets obviously on Ticketmaster. Secure your seats for the game on Sunday. And if you can't join us here in Ottawa, 6 o'clock Eastern, the kickoff will be on OneSoccer, and we'll see you there on Sunday. Thank you, everybody.